Okay, we're back. I had to reset a couple of things real quick. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we're back with Corruption Within. We're gonna start this. Yeah.
It had been a wonderful week. Camping,
okay, here we go.
hiking, and exploring the countryside with my wife and 2 children. We hadn't been able to afford a holiday while the kids were growing up, but finally, between my salary and Steph selling some of her paintings, we'd scrabbled together the funds. With 2 nights to go, we'd planned to spend the afternoon exploring a section of the forest by the lake we hadn't seen yet. At dusk, I was collecting things together while Steph and the kids answered the call of nature. They didn't come back. I spent hours searching, calling, to no avail. Frantically, I headed towards the only sign of civilization I'd seen. A grand mansion with a mountain behind it and a lake at the front. I'd heard of this new invention called a telephone. Whoever owned the mansion was surely rich enough to own one. Or at least have some horses. I scrambled over old tree roots to get to the mansion. Rumours and superstitions were rife about this part of the country. But I put those down to silly old wives' tales designed to scare children. I reluctantly began to wonder if there was some truth to them. Tales of ghosts and fell beasts didn't bother me. I didn't believe in such things. The stories of Edgar Allan Poe were entertaining, but nothing more. It was the evil people were capable of that worried me. I reached the mansion and hoped to find help there. At the very least, someone should be able to aid me in some way. If they couldn't, there was no hope of aid from any other source, unless I found my way back to civilization and the police conducted a full search of the countryside. But it would be too late. This mansion was my only hope.
Okay. So let's take a look around here. It's an impressive building indeed. It must be a rich family that lives here. Even though it's late, there seem to be some lights on, so I guess at least someone is still awake. After a brief moment, a man opened the door. Just what is your business at this ungodly hour, sir? Please, my good man, let me in. My family have gone missing and I need help. Do you have an invitation from a member of the family? What? No, I don't. My family have gone missing, and if you do not have a formal invitation, then I cannot allow you to enter the house. There are no exceptions. I bid you goodbye, sir. Now what am I gonna do? A shrill scream is heard in the distance. Oh no. Was that Steph? I'd better go check it out. The scream seems to have come from the southwest. Not knowing where I was heading, but following the sounds of the screams, I ended up somewhere in the forest. What the fuck? Then I beheld a sight that made my blood run cold. There was a man hanged from a tree. As I stared at the grisly scene, a young woman approached me. Sir, I was sent to find you and give you this invitation. She hands me an invitation card. She is clearly shaken by the sight of the dead man. Give it to the butler and he will let you in. The young lady stares in horror at the hanging man. Do you know who this is? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, his name was Paul. He was a footman. I liked him. He was always kind to me. And he was quite a dizzy despite not having much education. Lady Charlotte heard you at the mansion door talking to Giles and told me to come via the servants' door to the forest and find you. She has seen a woman and 2 children who appeared to be lost. But then I saw Paul here. We must report this to the authorities. My family. Someone has seen my family? She is still staring at the body, unable to tear her eyes away. Shouldn't we cut him down or even bury him? We can't yet. The police will need to see the crime scene without any interference. I suppose so. I need to rush back. I know it seems cold given the circumstances, but I do not wish to receive punishment for failing in my duties. The punishment can be severe. You still have work this time? It must be past midnight by now. The family I work for have unusual habits. Lady Dennison suffers with lunacy. She becomes highly agitated during the full moon and often creates havoc, so the family have got into the habit of staying up late to deal with her. I see. What about the invitation? That's a house rule. Nobody enters without an invitation, even if it's accompanied by a servant or family member other than Lord Denison himself. He is a law unto himself. I'm sorry, but I really must get back now. Paul, rest in peace. I will come make sure you get a proper burial. The young woman, weeping uncontrollably, runs back towards the mansion. I'm left with only the corpse swinging gently on the roof for company. There's some really dense foliage here. I could probably get through it if I had a reason to, but I can't see one right now. Looks like he's been here for a long time. The bluish taint of his skin could not be the result of the cold air alone. It's unnatural, like he had some kind of strange disease or ingested some kind of poison. Blue Boy, what in the world is this that's going to give me nightmares? Oh, good. Welcome back, Blue Boy. A few things to bear in mind. This game saves your progress automatically. Text display speed can be changed in the options screen. Blah, 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 blah. Open or close your inventory, press the space bar. And use the objects world by left clicking. Blah, blah, blah. Move around the world, click on the direction arrows. Hotspot indicator can be turned on. An invitation to the mansion. The happy days we spent hiking in those mountains already seem so long ago. I'm not sure what that wheelbarrow has been used for, but it's dark red staining inside. I fear gardening was not its only use. A sturdy-looking shed door. The door won't budge more than a couple of inches. There's an adjustable spanner on the floor, which I can just barely reach. I'll take it. The adjustable span is versatile, but not that versatile. Alright. Let's have a look. Dense foliage is all around, creating a safe and advantageous environment for the many squirrels and other small denizens living here. I can only see a very deep part of the lake from here. I can't make out any details. This tree stands out impressively, even in the sometimes dense woodland. I'm guessing it may have been around long enough to have started life when George III was on the throne. I'll use the spanner on it. I run straight back to the mansion, not stopping to explore the forest and lakeside area. That will wait for later, should the need arise. Okay, lights are still on. I have an invitation from Lady Charlotte to enter the mansion. Although Lady Charlotte does the most extraordinary things at times, I'm not going to simply take your word for it. You'll have to provide proof. Here's my proof. I see, this appears to be in order. I'm not aware that Lady Charlotte has left the house tonight, so I suppose she sent the servant to do her bidding. Do come in, sir. I shall take you through to the lounge and fetch her ladyship. Please wait here while I fetch Lady Charlotte. Sounds of whispers come from behind the door. You may leave us now, Giles. Very good, my lady. Lady Charlotte studies me keenly before speaking. I see you have got my invitation. Jolly good. Thank you for your kindness and hospitality, madam. Of course, of course. Do you happen to know something of my family's whereabouts? My wife and 2 young children, 1 boy and 1 girl. Oh, did I see them? I think maybe I did. You mean you don't know whether you saw them? Oh yes, now that I think of it, I did. So where are they? Patience, my good man. Patience? I'm desperate to find them. I'm feeling woozy. I need to go and lie down. You may search the mansion if you like. I have nothing to hide. Or perhaps I do have something to hide, but I want you to find it. Lady Charlotte gives a small and slightly delirious laugh. Oh boy, this chick is Looney Tunes. I don't remember when and where I saw them. I've not been feeling myself lately. A loud bang followed by a low groaning is heard from the east. Did you hear that? Your imagination is getting the better of you. This old house is full of strange sounds. That was no random creak created by the wind in an old house. That was someone in pain. Oh, dear heart, are you a writer? You have the most vivid imaginings. As for me, I need a rest. I shall see you later, no doubt. I'm sure I heard something, and I'm sure people around here know more than they're letting on. Time to investigate. I must keep a tight hold of my emotions and remain as objective as I can. My family's future depends on it. Looks comfy, but I don't like the color much. I won't rest until I know my family is safe. What a wonderful sofa! I wish we could afford something like this for our house, or indeed have enough room for it. Maybe one day. There's nothing down the back of this sofa. Looks posh, but I'm not keen on the color. Not in an indoor setting anyway. Greens are the wallpaper of nature, not of man. I found a coin down the back of the sofa. What a stroke of good fortune. Since Lady Charlotte was so unhelpful, I think I'll keep this, as I suspect it will be more useful than she was. A single 3-penny. I can't purchase that. This chair looks very comfy, yet there is no time to sit and dawdle. I must find Steph and the kids. A roaring fire heats the room. There's nothing quite like a log fire. Oh yes, we all love logs here in the litter box. The drink cabinet is well stocked with wines and spirits of various vintages. It's securely locked. It seems that the lock is new with some evidence of damage repaired. Perhaps there is a thief in the house. Can't use the spanner with that. Nothing useful would come of that. Okay. A gaslit chandelier. This family must be extremely affluent. I've seen chandeliers in some of the grand houses I've worked in, but never have I seen gas lighting in a house before. An oil painting of the lake outside this mansion, I think. Probably by a local artist rather than a famous one. The lake at nighttime is rather ominous, as I found out the last few hours, although in my panic I barely noticed at the time. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about the painting. As far as I can tell, there's nothing behind it. And, of course, the obligatory phonograph. One of those newfangled gramophone players. We can't afford one ourselves, but this family has the latest technological wonders. Let's see now. Oh, I heard someone come in. I thought it may be Charlotte. I'm afraid not. I'm a visitor looking for my wife and children who have gone missing. I'm so sorry. I've lost children myself. I had hoped Charlotte had come to play the piano so I could accompany her on the harp. It calms me somewhat. Lady, I'm sorry for your loss. It was years ago. Years ago. I'm Isabel, by the way. Pleased to meet you. I'm Samuel, my lady, Samuel Taylor. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Charlotte, is she here? I hope to play on the harp while she played piano. It cleanses my soul. She plays very well. But she's not here. I will go. I think she is so caught up in her own grief that the fact my own family's missing didn't even register with her. A bit of an odd fish, really, but I suppose it's understandable. I can hear the clock strike 1. Oh, who's this? Hello, miss. Hello to you too, sir. I'm Francesca, the kitchen maid and parlor maid too, since we hardly have any maids left. Wait, I recognize your voice. You were in the forest by the man that hanged. I was told to go and find you, sir. It wasn't my idea. I do what I'm told. Obedience is sometimes rewarded, but disobedience is always punished. What happened to the other maids? I was told they all went away for personal reasons, but I fear something terrible happened to them. People acting strange, terrible noises at night. I can't say nothing more, sir. What do you think of the family you work for? They've always been eccentric but kind, sir, though in recent years there's more eccentricity and less kindness. How long have you worked here? 17 years, sir. I was brought here when I was 10. I was an orphan with no one to care for me, a kid with dead foreign parents, living on the streets of London with till Lady Isabel was kind enough to bring me here. What can you tell me of the other staff? I like Molly and Gary. I steer clear of Giles when he's up the pole. He can get a bit handsy, if you know what I mean. Penelope, poor thing, completely lost her mind when the children died. Is there any truth to the tales of fell creatures roaming this part of the country? Not that I have ever seen, sir, though I have heard terrible noises. What kind of noises? Howling of anguish, it seems to me sometimes, whether human or animal I do not truly know, though my heart tells me they are human. That's terrible. Have you told anyone else of this? I quickly learned to keep my mouth shut, sir. People told me I was a silly girl to say such things. Well, you're just a silly girl, I tell you. I'll speak with you later, then. Who are you, child? Begging your pardon, lordship, I'm Molly. What work do you do here? I'm a scullery maid, your lordship, though I clean the bedchambers, too. How long have you been working here? Since I was a child, your lordship. I am not too certain of my age when I was brought here. I don't remember my parents very much, but Lord and Lady Dennison were kind enough to take me in, give me a job, food, and lodgings. What do you think of the family you work for? Please don't ask me such things, your lordship. I would have no home without the family's kindness, but no, please do not ask for this. Please, if you know something important about the family's mansion, you must tell me. I'm sorry, I can't tell you anything more. She seems to know something, but is too scared to tell me, whether it's scared of losing her job or something more I can't tell. Do you have a telephone in the house or any horses? Alas, no, your lordship. The family like being in seclusion. We did have horses, but not for some years now. My wife and children are missing. Have you perchance seen them? It saddens me to say I have not, your lordship. What do you know of the dead man hanging in the forest? A dead man in the forest? How horrible, but I know nothing of this, your lordship. I'll take my leave of you now, child. Alright, well, let's start actually looking at stuff here. The dining table and accompanying chairs are surprisingly austere, considering how grand the mansion is. Clearly they take a rather pragmatic attitude towards food. A Welsh dresser. Plates, bowls, and other crockery is stored here. A Welsh dresser? I wonder if they have a Dutch oven, too. I've always found taxidermied animals rather upsetting, as if we are making a celebration of death rather than life. The family are certainly fond of this area, not only living here, but filling their home with paintings of the locality, perhaps an indication that they have made this small part of England their entire world. This cabinet must hold all the cutlery. Well, I don't see anything else of interest, so let's move on. A landscape oil painting adorns the wall. From the local area, I would say judging by the very identifiable plant. There's a door at the top of the stairs. No one answers my knocking, however, I hear footsteps on the other side and someone's breathing. These stairs lead to the kitchen. There's a wall at the end of the corridor, it doesn't go anywhere else. I'm not sure what's in this barrel, perhaps it's simply used as a makeshift table. Very much a staple part of our diet, potatoes. It makes me shudder to think of how terrible the Irish potato famine must have been. The oven is equipped with a gas cooker by the look of it. I wonder if normal folk will ever be able to afford these. A handy implement for chasing away rodents. No rodents nearby to chase away. I have no idea how anyone can reach these pots. Maybe they have a ladder or hook on a long pole. Very basic crockery, supposedly for the servants to use. These look like Lady Henniker apples to me, so probably used for cooking rather than eating raw, although some do like the sharp taste. A pot of cold gravy, possibly waiting to be reheated, although I doubt the family would be very impressed by that idea. A bottle of Port Ellen whiskey, there's just a bit left in it. I can't just take the bottle, even if it is nearly finished, certainly not without asking the kitchen maid first. An ornamental bowl containing grapes. Presumably it gets put out when the family wants it, but otherwise kept out of the way, or maybe the servants get to eat the grapes once they look less appetizing. Can I have that bottle of whiskey since there's not much left in it? It's only leftovers, but it was still given to the servants in kindness. You ain't having it for nothing. I can give you this coin as payment for that unfinished bottle of whiskey. 3 pence? Well, not to be sniffed at considering my paltry wages. It's a deal, take it. It is only now that I realize I left my wallet at the campsite. I shall speak with you later. Alright, so I have the bottle of whiskey in exchange for the coin. And I don't think I can take anything else, so... Let's talk to her again. Okay. Various cleaning implements are kept in here, I presume. A quick check reveals these pots to contain spices and biscuits. Nothing I can take. These must be murdered to get clean. I hear scullery maids are expected to rub sand into them with their bare hands. Ugh. The magnificence of the rest of the building clearly doesn't extend to the servants' areas. Running water is essential to keeping everything clean. Okay, so nothing here that I can take or use. Alright, so I can't bribe the guy with whiskey. Let's throw the whiskey on the fire. Alcohol will not help in this situation. Alright, let's check out this area. I just can't like the color green, but this armchair also seems oddly out of place. The rest of the foyer is set quite symmetrically. It may not be of particular significance, but is highly noticeable to someone in my line of work. A grandfather clock always adds an air of elegance to a foyer. Personally, I prefer the casing to be stained or varnished rather than painted, but I can't deny this clock looks rather distinguished. I keep trying to convince Steph that it's worth us trying to save up for a grandfather clock once I fully qualify as an architect. A rather strange painting of a man which I believe is in a newfangled style called Impressionism. A portrayal of a bat, one of nature's most mysterious mammals. A rather bizarre choice of a painting to place in a foyer on account of their unsavory reputation. The gas lamp is unlit. With that huge chandelier, you wouldn't think another light was necessary. I've never seen such a grand chandelier before. It must be the equal of those that light the fine palaces in Europe. The floor mat has been well chosen to a sympathetic colors of the wooden floorboards. A comfortable looking armchair. I guess some visitors are asked to wait in the foyer for a long time if they need seats. So you're the butler. What's your name? Am indeed, sir. Have been for many years now. I go by the name of Giles. I didn't know butlers were allowed to drink while on duty, but I could smell whiskey on his breath. How long have you worked here? A little more than 20 years, sir. I started out as a stable boy, would you believe, back when the family still had horses. Of course, I was a mere wee lad back then. A mere wee lad. Are you Scottish? Haha, you caught the twang, did you? The answer is yes, but barely. I was a wee bairn when I came to England, and I rarely see my Scottish kin. Every now and then all the language slips out, though. Do you have a telephone in the house or any horses? Alas, no, we have no real means of communication with the outside world. The family likes being in seclusion. We did have horses, but not for some years now. Do you know much about this mansion? It is a very old building built on the ancient ruins of a Roman villa. If you can find him and he's in a talkative mood, Lord Dennison knows much more than I or indeed anyone else does. Can you tell me anything of the Dennison family? The Dennison family has a noble heritage dating back to Edward III's reign and have lived in this area since Charles I was on the throne. The current lord and lady are very traditional in their views, other family members less so. Is there anything you can tell me about the other servants? What can I say? Gary is amiable but dim. Francesca is doing her best to be a cook. Molly is a sweet girl who deserves better than this place. And Penelope lost her mind when the children died. Don't ask me more about them. I would have thought a mansion of this size would have many staff, not just 5. You'd be right, and we've had about 20 staff here once, but so many have died over the years and not been replaced. Do you know anything about the hanging of a man in the nearby woods? Gracious me, no sir, I do not. Shame to have yet another death in the area. What do you mean, another death? Seems that this is a most unfortunate place, sir. Many deaths over the last few years, or maybe suspected deaths is a better expression. Possibly just disappearances, I mean, who really knows? What do you know about the deaths, Giles? I know nothing at all, and that's what I'll tell anyone. He clearly knows something, but he'll never tell me. Have you seen a woman and 2 small children enter the house? I have not. Someone else could have let them in, I suppose, but I find it extremely unlikely. With the few staff we have available, it's not like anyone is looking for extra work. I shall return later. Goodbye. You know, I wonder if I give him the whiskey. Perhaps I should start a conversation before I contemplate showing this item. In my rush to get back to the mansion earlier, I didn't explore the area outside. I should scour for clues. A seating area for family members to be entertained by those with a talent in music. I have rarely heard the instrument played, but I am told it creates very beautiful memories when in the hands of a skilled harpist. I would no doubt only manage to make a horrible noise with it. According to a tiny plaque, this painting is called The Purple Rose of Cairo, Artist Unknown. That statue is huge, almost twice the height of a man. I would presume, given its location, that this statue is of a famous composer, but it's not one I recognize. Maybe someone local or even a family member. It's a dreadful night. A grand piano sits at one side of the room. I can play simple melodies if I have the sheet music in front of me. I seem to have no head for remembering them as some people can. Oh, let's go back to the foyer and check out the seat. A brass plate bearing the message, a gift from the Earl of Sussex. It's held in place by 4 screws. Ah! Okay. Well, if I can find a screwdriver, I'm definitely coming back. Because whenever you see the word screws, that means it's hiding something. This bookcase is dedicated to books for children. It looks like this room is well used if that fire is still going at this hour. I've never understood why people hunt animals and put their stuffed heads up on the wall for people to gawk at. What a sad end for such a majestic creature. An unlit oil lamp. I'm not going to carry a bulky oil lamp around for no reason besides someone else might need it. A selection of popular novels including works by Dickens, Thackeray, Trollope, the Bronte sisters, and others. I am actually quite good at billiards when I get a chance to play. Not surprising, I suppose, considering an eye for angles and distances is important to my job as an architect. This is no time to practice my potting and caromming skills. Is that a rope? There's a long, thin pipe coiled up here. It must have been used to top up the pool at some point. It seems to be surplus to requirements. I've taken the rubber hose. My knowledge of Greek mythology is limited, but I would say that these unclad ladies are nymphs. The one on the far end is holding a cluster of grapes. The bronze feels smooth to the touch. What a lovely way to relax this must be. It's cold. Clearly whatever fire normally heats this is not burning right now. That's understandable given that it's the middle of the night, though I'm starting to feel that nothing would surprise me in this place. Maybe I can use the spanner to get the grapes? Okay. Or maybe I can use the hose. Alright. So far I have a spanner wrench, a bottle of whiskey, and a garden hose. Maybe I can attach the hose to this sink? Okay, I guess I can't. Well, let's go outside then. Maybe I can, find something to attach the hose to. These rocks jutting out of the water make me feel uneasy. I feel like they shouldn't be there. Even though it's not far from the shore, I don't think I should risk trying to jump onto it. Personally, I can't think of any benefit to doing it, and it's glistening with sheen of water. One slip, a bump on my head, and that would be the end of me. At the top of the pillar is a set of runes. I'm not sure what language they are. The runes are not simply carved into the stone. Each one is separately embossed. I can push them down, but nothing happens. Well, that's odd. Water over there looks extremely deep. If it contains any secrets, I suspect they will have to remain secret. Okay, that just leads to that just leads back to the house. Let's go to the right. I thought I saw something glisten there for a minute. Yeah, every so often I think I can see something shiny, but it's probably just a reflection. Yeah, there it is. I'm certain I can see something down there. It has a yellowish tint. Could it be treasure? If only I could take a closer look. I wouldn't be able to stay down there long enough to have a good look without some kind kind of breathing apparatus. Oh, well, you know, it just so happens I have that garden hose. This wagon is a strange size. It looks a little small for a horse, but large for a human to pull. Though I'm sure if I had a good enough reason, I could move it easily enough. Perhaps it was designed for smaller animals like ponies to pull. I could use the hose to breathe underwater for a couple of minutes, but I would need some way to keep one end above water. This would be a good way to keep one end of the hose above water, but it needs something to attach the hose to the wheel. Huh. Okay, we'll keep looking. Oh, there's something here. Every so often I can see a metallic glint when the moonlight shines on the fern. Reaching into the undergrowth, I find a battered but perfectly serviceable flathead screwdriver. Yes. Looking in, I can see what was once a comfortable abode, probably for a high-class servant like a gamekeeper. Now it is completely derelict and has clearly been empty for some time. I'm not going to try to enter through the window. It would be unsafe on many levels. The door looks to be the sturdiest part of the building. Everything else looks like it may fall apart at a moment's notice. There's no point trying to get in. This place has clearly been abandoned for several years, and I can see no indication that anyone has been inside during that time. The roof looks like it's seen better days. The roof has definitely seen better days and has some signs of fire damage. There's a piece of steel wire sticking out of the crumbling mortar here. I can't quite get the steel wire out with my bare hands. Oh yeah? After bashing a little of the mortar, I'm able to pull out the wire quite easily. Nice. Now I think I know what I could use that steel wire for. The ostler and stable boy would have entered this way. Despite the darkness, I can see enough to know nothing has been left inside apart from ashes. There are also some horse bones. It looks like one or more horses were trapped here in a fire. How tragic. There's nothing in here that could be useful to me. These were evidently where the horses were led out of. The stable doors seem to have been damaged and warped by fire. I can see the remains of horses inside. Oh, that's terrible. I have no desire to investigate the horrific scene more closely by going inside. Alright. So, let's do this. Let's use the wire on the wheel. The hose on the wire. Even though I've put together a crude breathing apparatus, I don't have a good enough reason to try something as risky as diving in the lake. Okay, so I guess I can't go in the lake just yet, maybe? Alright. Another rock seemingly defying gravity at the surface of the water. The ground rises and falls sharply around it, leaving just enough for the rock to sit on. This tree sits imposingly on the banks of the lake, firmly anchored by its deep root system. Oh, jeez. It's the dead guy. Has the person who did this captured Steph and the kids? Why did that girl insist on me investigating this? What strange happenings are going on? Too many questions for which I may regret finding the answers to. Alright. If I have a use for the wheelbarrow, I can come and get it, but I'm not lugging it around with me. The rocks jutting out of the surface of the water make me wonder if this is a man-made lake, but hastily completed with areas of ground higher than they should be. It is possible that the effect is deliberate. This rock appears to have been placed here. I can't be sure if it was an entirely aesthetic decision or if there's some other reason for it. The rock is heavy, I have no reason to push it around. The lake is dark and mysterious. From what I can see, which is admittedly little, it seems to get deep extremely quickly around this point. The moon appears from here bright, bold, and commanding. Alright, so this rock definitely has something to it. Stepping on the rock achieves nothing besides increasing the odds of me falling in the lake. Alright, so moonlight reflecting in the lake is so beautiful, I wish I was in more of a mood to enjoy it. Alright, we'll come back to this area. This... If I can find a key to this, maybe... But anyway, I have that screwdriver, so... Let's go back in the mansion. I better not do that while the butler can see me. Okay. Here, have some whiskey. And I can't use my item screen while I'm talking to him. Ah, fuck. Let's see if there's anything else I can mess with. Not gonna carry a bulky oil lamp around. Stone pillar rises impressively to a high ceiling. It is not marble. The family's wealth is vast, but not completely unlimited. Damn. This one is quite new. The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald looks like just the sort of book William would enjoy. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, one of Little Sophie's favorite books. Oh, they have the last novel ever written by Charles Dickens, The Mystery of Edwin Drood. I've never read that one. They also have two recent books by one of my favorite authors, Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Around the Moon. Despite my love of literature, I have far more pressing concerns to attend to. Alright. So, I gotta keep, like, checking things to see if maybe the description changes. Nothing there. Nothing there. Huh. Let's try the screwdriver. The lock is for a very small key, much smaller than the head of the screwdriver. Okay. Just seeing if the descriptions change at all to see if, well, shit. Heh, now there's some boobage right there, baby. Damn. Is there like a hidden passage around here somewhere? Alright, I gotta be walking past something here. Grand stairway befitting of such an opulent mansion. As I'm about to go up the stairs, Giles blocks my way. I'm sorry, sir, but I can't allow you to go upstairs while some family members are in bed. But Lady Charlotte told me I could go anywhere in the house. Sir, I'm afraid that would be improprious of me. I can't allow it. The butler will not let me go upstairs. Really? Well, how about I bribe you with some whiskey? I have some whiskey if you're interested. It's a mere snifter, but it's from a good distillery. Yes, I'll take it. I'll go and enjoy this somewhere private. I won't ask where you got this from. Just what did happen to the horses? The stable appears to have fire damage. It was a tragedy, but out of respect for the family, I cannot go into details. Out of respect for Lady Dennison in particular, poor Jason, the groom, and Jack, the stable boy, lost their lives trying to save the horses. Sadly, none survived. What did Lady Dennison do? She and Jason were having collie shangles again. They argued a lot about the state of the Empire, and things got out of hand. A lamp got knocked over. The family hushed it all up, of course. Did Lady Dennison argue with many of the staff? Oh, she argues with everyone. She has a, to put it politely, touch of lunacy about her. Been getting worse these last few years. She mostly stays in her bedroom now. Everyone's happier that way. And off the butler has gone upstairs to drink his whiskey. Okay, here we go. Huh. Gently I unscrew the metal plate from the clock. Inside a small packet is a sheet of very old paper with a diary entry on it. The last page is signed by Samuel Pepys. Does the family even know of its existence? Decision time. When you get back to civilization, what will you do with the paper, which seems to be a missing page from Pepys's famous diary? Leave the paper there, send it to a museum anonymously, Send it to a museum with your name in the hope of a reward. Attempt to sell it to a private collector. I'll send it to a museum anonymously. Alright, so I think we can go upstairs. Furniture blocks the way to the left. Oh, wait a minute. So, the chair seems out of place, but I can't move it. The door is locked. A mountain at nighttime, very moody, possibly a local mountain. Let's try to jimmy the door. There are no visible screws, and I'm not about to try to jimmy the door open. Sir, I must tell you something. Oh, it's Francesca. What is it? Or rather, I must show you something. Please meet me in the lounge as soon as you can. This is the famous explorer Stephen Dawn. He made his name investigating ruins in Egypt and Abyssinia. He later became obsessed with the fate of Atlantis. The artist signed his name as Kip and Soap. Must be Dutch. So the lounge, huh? What is it you wanted to show me? Not here. We need to go back to where Paul is. He's hanging in the forest. I didn't know if I could trust you, but I've been observing your actions. You genuinely seem to be focused on finding your lost family. I didn't know if you were simply another of Lady Charlotte's gentleman friends playing some sort of role play. I can assure you most definitely I am not. I only want to find my wife and children. Sir, my friend Paul is obviously the victim of some evil. He will not be the last unless someone puts a stop to it. Unfortunately, the police have little interest in coming out here. We're many miles of tough terrain away from the nearest police station, and since the horses died, we have no real way of contacting the outside world. You seem like an honest and intelligent man. I beg you to help me find out what is happening and stop it. I promise you I will do what I can, but my priority is to find my family. Sir, I believe they're in danger from the same evil. I don't know whom I can trust at the mansion other than Molly. As for the family, Lord Charles was questioned at length by police after his children died. The family has always claimed both deaths were tragic accidents. Maybe they were. Lady Dennison is not of sound mind, and Lord Dennison is, well, an enigma. Giles is too fond of his whiskey, and who knows what he might do under the influence. And Gary is a good man at heart, but simple of head and may be manipulated. Who knows what any of them are capable of? Until you came here, I felt there was no hope. But if you felt something evil was going on, even if the police would do nothing, why did you not leave yourself? Surely you don't feel safe here. There ain't nowhere I could go, really, being an uneducated orphan and all. We're practically prisoners here, miles from the nearest town, and I would have to get there on foot. Francesca's manner of speech is becoming more like the street language she grew up with. Perhaps it's because of the emotional stress she's under, or due to her feeling more comfortable in my presence now that she's decided I can be trusted. But that's not the only reason. I had a friend, one of the other kitchen maids she was. We came to the mansion within a couple of weeks of each other. Maisie, the name was, and we became fast friends almost straight away. But we started to grow suspicious, Maisie even more so than me. She decided to run away. Wanted me to come with her, she did, but I was too scared of going back on the streets as a beggar, so I stayed here. She did go, but she never wrote. She promised faithfully to write and never did. I'm convinced something happened to her. There could be a number of reasons why she didn't write. Not Maisie, she always found a way, she did. Walking across the hills for 100 miles was no problem for her. She was as fit as a fiddle. Something was done to her, something horrible. It may be not only her, but I ain't got no proof. And then there's the noises, awful noises, like people in pain, dull, muffled noises, sometimes in the house, sometimes over here. Francesca points out a path hidden behind some undergrowth that leads me to a rock face at the end of the path. I believe that someone from the mansion is part of the heinous plot. The servants are discouraged from coming out here, but since Maisie left, I've made sure to find out as much as I can without getting caught. This may be important to your efforts to save your family. I believe they may be caught up in the same despicable intrigue. I must get back, but I wish you success. Francesca told me of a rock face with strange markings if I follow a path behind this foliage. I can just faintly detect a hollow in the rock face. The inside of the hollow is covered in moss. The moss moves away easily. I can't quite see what's behind it, but I feel the shape of a handle and a keyhole. Alright, I'll have to come back to this. Your lordship, I have been trying to find you. You must be absolutely exhausted, and I expect you have walked many miles in your search. Please let me get you something to eat and drink. I suddenly realized just how tired and hungry I am. Perhaps a quick snack and a drink would reinvigorate. You are very kind. I would be grateful for whatever you could spare. Please come with me, your lordship. I'm afraid I hadn't much, but I heated it up for you, your lordship. I have some trout, potatoes, and carrots. The trout is delicious. Is it from the lake outside? Yes, your lordship. Lord Charles is a keen fisherman. He really hates it when Lady Charlotte takes a swim. He says it scares off the fish. I can imagine. Not as much as he hates it when she swims naked, of course. Oh, yes, quite. Despite the conversation taking such a strange turn, I feel most refreshed and energized. I'm ready to continue my search. I hate working through the nights during the full moon. Gary seems to enjoy it, though. I don't know that he ever sleeps. I think he'll be by the stables, probably pretending the horses are still alive. There he is. Hello, my good man. Who are you? Hello, mister. My name is Gary. What do you do here? I am the first footman, mister. How many footmen are there? Just one now, but I'm still the first. What can you tell me about the other staff? Well, Giles is a buffoon and likes his drink too much. Molly is a nice enough girl, and Franny is a bit of raspberry, if you know what I mean. But do not let her catch you looking at her Tora laurels, or you will be in for some mouth pie. Ha! Do not let her catch you looking at her Tora laurels, or you'll be in for some mouth pie. How very improper. Does he have no manners? Is there anything you can tell me about the family who employ you? On account of my father, his lordship has kept me on. Very kind of him. Please do not ask me about the ladies, Edith and Charlotte. They think I am like dirt beneath their expensive shoes. Anything you can tell me about the mansion? Ah, yes, I can. Many secrets this mansion has, including one of great interest to me personally. Meet me at the dining room later. I'll tell you about it. You know what happened to the horses? Yes, burnt alive they were, poor things. Edith started a fire. Not that she meant to. People stay away from the stables, so I go there a lot to be alone. Good sir, my family have gone missing. Have you by any chance seen them? I'm afraid I have not. I am sorry. You know about the man found hanged in the forest? Mister, all sorts of terrible things go on here, but I am always told to keep quiet. Do not listen to Gary. He is simple, they say. What sort of terrible things? People vanish, screaming, crying, people in much pain, but nobody ever listens to Gary. Who tells you to keep quiet? The rich folks, mainly. They think I am a wooden spoon who makes up stories. I better go now. Alright. So I'm done talking with the wooden spoon. Well, this is the dining room, but he's not here. Alright, well, let me go back upstairs and sneak around some more. Oh, what is this? This desk is very similar to the desks at the public school I went to. Functional and slightly soul-destroying. There is a book of poetry on the small shelf under the desk. I have no use of it. A book about botany open to a page with flowers that look just like the ones I've seen by the lake, but none of the varieties mentioned are purple. Even though it's interesting, I'm not about to steal a child's school book. A book about geometry and trigonometry. I learned this stuff years ago when I started training to be an architect. The blackboard contains an eclectic mix of mathematical examples, including the quadratic equation. If these were for young children, they must have been prodigies, or their teacher was unrealistic. I've no reason to wipe out the lesson on the board. A topographical map of Great Britain and Ireland. Alright, so this appears to have been a classroom. This painting is called A Woman from the New World. It appears to be ever so slightly askew. I wonder. Holy shit! What? Who's there? Someone was watching me. Whoever they were, they're gone now. There's a hole in the wall previously hidden by the painting. There's no one there now. This. A Peddler of Scarves by Connor Mountain. The man in the painting is roguishly wearing his scarf across his shoulders. A musical box with a picture of a mountain on the lid. Unfortunately, the music won't play since there's no handle to crank. The bed looks old but doesn't show signs of having been used recently. The parrots are nicely ornamental and go along with the color scheme of this room, but that scheme makes the whole room feel colder. This looks like a child's bedroom. I can't make up my mind as to whether this teddy bear is adorable or terrifying. Now that is not historically accurate, because the teddy bear was named after Teddy Roosevelt, and Teddy Roosevelt did not exist during this time. An empty goldfish bowl. Did it hold fish in the past? I wonder if the damage not being repaired is due to this house being so far away from anyone or due to negligence. Simple and convenient place to store clothes. The drawers are empty with the exception of a nail file. I've taken it. I wonder how long this plaything has been sitting here unused. William and then Sophie had one similar to this. There is also a ball which is covered with dust. I can get the nail file through the hole in the side of the music box, but can't get enough purchase to turn the gears around. I have no reason to tinker with the musical box just yet. I can't use the spanner with that. Okay, so I have a nail file at least. Maybe I can use the nail file to get the lock open. That will accomplish nothing. Okay, so it's locked. I'm gonna need a key. Maybe I can go upstairs. Isabel is sitting sobbing on the stairwell. Isabel, what's wrong? Charlotte has lost her sheet music of the tune we always play together. She was so angry, though not at me, I think. The music seems to make her happy too, though she always disappears afterwards. If I find it, I'll let you know. Is there anything else I can do for you? Poetry helps me calm down too, but the collection by Wordsworth that I love has been misplaced too. It wasn't in the games room when I looked. Okay, I'll see if I can find it. Desperate as my plight is, I can't bring myself to barge past this distraught lady. Okay, so there's the book of poetry. Oh, thank you. I'll go to the music room to read it. It calms me. I've made it to the second floor. If my family is somewhere in this house, it must be here then. A painting of American frontiersman A.G.G. and his loyal chinchilla Fluffy. Huh. Maybe he was one of the developers. What's this? This painting looks oddly oriental. A lifeless corpse walking about lavishly dressed. Strikingly macabre. Just what in blazes are you doing in our room? Well, what have you got to say for yourself, man? Sorry to intrude on you, sir. I meant no disrespect. I was invited to your home. The impertinence. Oh, I suppose you're another of my aunt's friends. 2 doors down is the one you want. You misunderstand me, sir. My family have disappeared and I'm searching for them. Oh, well then, you'll not find them here, nor have I seen or heard them. Might I inquire as to your identity? I'm Charles, the son of Lord Dennison and husband of Isabel. Heir to the mansion one day for what it's worth. I met your wife earlier, sir. I'm so sorry to hear you lost your children. Yes, awful business, awful. Poor Izzy has never come close to recovering, as you probably realized when you spoke to her. How did your children die? Terrible accidents, both of them. What can you tell me of the staff here? We don't have enough servants, really, but you must take what you can get these days. The servants we have are unremarkable but seem loyal. Did you have more servants? In years gone by? Indeed we did, but it's difficult to keep good staff these days. We are so far away from everything here, you see, but there's safety and distance. I understand. You enjoy fishing? Yes, indeed I do. It helps me relax no end. I'm afraid I do have a rather short fuse sometimes. It's fortunate you have your own lake to fish in. It's one of the best things about this mansion. I thought living here would bring me peace, but it seems to have caused me ceaseless unease instead. What is it about the mansion that makes you uneasy? Honestly, I could not say. It began even before my sons Jonathan and Arthur died, leaving me without an heir. What happened to your sons? I do not wish to talk about it. The memories are too painful. I'll be on my way now, good sir. A 2-part dresser with mirror. Since losing her children, I would hazard to guess that Isabel sees sad eyes looking back at her every time she looks at this. A Dalmatian looking pleadingly at the viewer. A sort of painting adored by so many dog lovers. The plaque reads, Portrait of Vashti, the best dog anyone ever had. Oh, maybe that was one of the developers' pups. Because, you know, sometimes video game developers put pictures of their pets in video games as a memorial. A nice, comfortable bed made with rosewood. Very stylish. This is a beautifully woven Afghan rug. It must have been tremendously expensive. The fine weave in this feels amazing. Such artisanship, most impressive. Okay, so I've checked out this room. Probably nothing. Wait, what's this? A console table with a smooth finish. There's a box of matches in the velvet-lined drawer. It could come in useful. I'll take it. Okay. What do you think you're doing in here, sir? I mean you no harm. I'm trying to find my missing family. I was given permission to enter the house by Lady Charlotte. The house, perhaps, but not my private chambers, surely. I am truly sorry to disturb you, but I believe my family are in danger. If I could only ask you a few questions. This is madness. Charlotte's gone too far. Ask then and be gone. Who are you? I'm the children's nurse and educator. My name is Penelope. Where are the children? The children are... She just stares into space. There is no sign that any children have been here for some years. If the children are gone, why are you still here? No, the children will be back. Nothing bad happened to the children. The horror did not come. It didn't happen. This poor woman is clearly deluded. When did the children go missing? It has been weeks since I saw the children, or months, maybe years. But they will come back. My heart knows this. They will return and they will be whole, unharmed. I wonder just what happened in this place. What can you tell me about the family that owns this mansion? Lord and Lady Dennison are very kind, very kind. Lady Charlotte, I don't know very well. I find her rather intimidating. Can you tell me anything about the other servants? Giles is usually half rats. Gary's nice, but a bit slow in the head. Francesca and Molly are okay, but neither are my chuckaboo exactly. She is shockingly forthright in her views. Do you have a best friend, a chuckaboo? To be truthful, I always preferred spending time with the children than adults. Their minds are so much purer. I wish the children were still here, but nothing bad has happened to them. Nothing bad. This very capable woman completely goes to pieces when the children are mentioned. You know of anyone missing from the household recently? So many people have gone missing over the years, but Paul the Footman is the latest. There have been a lot of people going missing. Oh yes, so many. Wouldn't surprise me if the local butcher's bags of mystery didn't contain human flesh now and then. She seems remarkably unperturbed about the possibility of dead people ending up in sausages people eat. My own wife and children have gone missing. Have you seen them? Poor little mites. Nothing will happen to the children, though. I'm sure no harm came to the children. They will return someday. Clearly any mention of children causes her to become hysterical. This line of questioning won't help me. I better be about my business now. A tranquil scene of a lily flower and a lake looks oriental. A guest double bed, but now only used by one person by the looks of it. For merely hanging clothes on, or perhaps she makes her own clothes. A small drawer for storing jewelry and makeup. A royal blue velvet chaise lounge, set awkwardly in the corner of the room as if they bought it without checking first if they had room for it. Okay. I can hear heavy snoring. It sounds like Giles. Guess the whiskey combined with the late hour knocked him out. I'll leave him be. A large pointless vase sits in the corridor. The paint is faded off in different spots due to the passage of time. There's nothing inside. Bedroom door. Unlike most doors in this house, this one is locked. Let's light it on fire. Ha! I'm not gonna go around randomly trying to set things on fire. Alright. A table with a drawer in it. Seems oddly placed out here in the corridor. How strange, I can't see any way of opening this drawer, even though it seems to be well used. I can feel switches of some kind underneath the drawer. This must be a locking mechanism. I'm not going to solve this by guesswork or brute force. Hopefully there's a clue somewhere. Okay. Four, 2, 2, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so it's an 8-part code. I hope you don't mind me coming in like this. Of course not, dear boy. I told you earlier that you could explore the mansion, though I have to admit, I'm a little surprised to see you in my boudoir. My apologies, it's just that you said you knew something of my family. I do recall seeing a woman, a boy, and a girl out in the forest earlier when I was looking out my window. Did you see where they went? Alas, no. They did seem to be coming towards the mansion, but after that I don't know, I'm afraid. Then I'm right to focus my search in and around the mansion. Thank you for your help. Can you tell me a bit about yourself? I moved into this mansion a few years ago after my husband died. I have exceptionally good eyesight. I love music and new experiences. That is all. I heard you play the piano. Oh yes, I love to play. Sadly, I've lost the sheet music I play along with Isabel on the harp. Poor thing, she suffered terribly when her children died, but she finds peace in music. It's all in the fingers, you know. It's all in the fingers? Fingers are amazing things, don't you think? The digits on your hand can cause such pleasure or such pain. Fingers little, middle, right, or 4, and thumb together make music I adore. Oh yeah, she's nuts. A footlocker is a strange thing for a lady to have one in her bedroom. This seems to be Army issue, an officer's travel chest if I'm not mistaken. I should not while Lady Charlotte is in the room. What a beautiful painting of a ballerina. Was this Lady Charlotte in her younger days, perhaps? It's no Degas, but it's a very eye-catching style. Thick velvet curtains help keep out the cold during the night. It's a drop-well dresser made of walnut. By the look of it, wonderful piece of furniture. A tub chair with a soft leather covering. So, she said the fingers make beautiful music. Yeah, as this is outside Lady Charlotte's room, I presume this is her door. She mentioned something about it all being in the fingers. Perhaps there's something in that, given that there are 5 switches. So she said the pinky, the something, the thumb, the 4. What's this? A very moody painting of some caves. I'm a little claustrophobic, so I'm not very keen on caves. Help, I'm in the presence of a stranger. I feel that I'm in terrible danger. I didn't mean to... Ooh, she looks evil. What are you doing here? Who are you? Why are you here? Are you a thief? Come to steal Lady Dennison's jewels? Yes, you'd like to get your hands on my jewels, wouldn't you, Big? What is the meaning of this intrusion? You have me in great panic and confusion. No, really, I'm only here to... Whatever I say, she just continues to yell and control me. Before I get a chance to make my exit, the man whom I presume to be Lord Dennison enters the room. Just what in blazes is the meaning of this? Please, sir, I can explain. Later, lad, Lottie told me she had invited a guest. Well, I must say I didn't expect you to wander into our bedroom. I am sorry, sir, my plight is desperate as my wife and child have gone missing. I fear it has caused me to take liberties I would not normally dream of. I see. If I can help later, then I will. However, first I need to calm down, my dear wife. Please leave us for now. This man's voice sounds similar to the voice coming from one of the locked rooms on the ground floor. Achievement unlocked. You're not supposed to be here. It appears in his rush to answer his wife shouting Lord Dennison forgot to lock the study behind him. I should be quick. I doubt he'll be happy to find me here. Books about legal matters and geography. A locked filing cabinet probably containing land registry details and other certification. I can't open it, not that I have any reason to try. Lord Dennison is writing a letter to the chief constable in the nearest city. Dear Walter, with regards to your recent inquiry about the alleged disappearance of another member of my serving staff, Lord Dennison is clearly an old friend, otherwise would surely not be so informer. Although I appreciate the number of similar anonymous tips you have received is quite large, I assure you that nothing goes on here without my knowledge. More reassurances, nothing to be concerned about, asking about the chief constable's wife, and mention of a large donation to be sent in the near future. Decision time. Doesn't take much reading between the lines to see if Lord Dennison is bribing the police chief. What shall we do with this letter? Leave the letter alone. It's not your business to meddle. Take the letter to give as evidence when you get back to the civilization. Make a copy and try to use that as evidence. Take the letter but make a copy to put in its place. So if I just take the letter, he's gonna notice it's gone. Maybe I should take the letter but make a copy. Yeah. A small handheld telescope, presumably for surveying his lordship's vast property. An old-fashioned quill. Either his lordship is resistant to using modern pens, or it's hard to get hold of them out here so far away from civilization. I have no use for the quill, but the magnifying glass could definitely come in useful. I'll return it later. Books detailing land ownership from the Doomsday Book up to the 14th century. Only one drawer is unlocked. It contains some blueprints and documents. One of them is the original title deed for the property for the Dennison family. It's dated 1311, back when Edward II was on the throne. Some of the original blueprints for the mansion are also here. There are some unusual features, though I can't make out all the details. Fascinating. In this blueprint, there is a door in one room, opened by switches underneath musical instruments in another room. It is an intricate design with a transmission system underneath the flooring. The design appears to be a prototype. I wonder if something like this was actually built. I've never seen anything like it. Another document acknowledges the existence of a foul substance in the lake that has been discoloring the local flora. I wonder what What's that all about? That horrible green color again. This looks like he has barely seen any use. I get the impression that Lord Dennison prefers solitude. Alright. Can't talk to her. Can't talk to her. Wait a minute. That looks like the pillar outside. I thought maybe the magnifying glass would help. Okay. How are you enjoying your poetry book? It's so good. I adore Wordsworth. Are you feeling calmer now? Yes, thank you. Poetry is like a gentle caress to my soul. Have you lived here long? Since I married Charles 8 years ago when I was expecting the first of my children. You had children? We had 2 boys, but both died. That's why I'm such a wreck. I'm sorry, I really don't wish to talk about it. I told you earlier about my own family having gone missing. Have you seen them? Sadly not. I would dearly love to help you find them. I can't bear the thought of you losing your children as I lost mine. Can you tell me anything about the servants here? I have a soft spot for Franny. I found her on the streets of London when I was visiting one day, and it broke my heart to see her, so I brought her back, poor mite. What about the rest of the servants? Oh, they're okay. I don't trust Giles much, but he's fine when he's sober. Molly's a dear girl, and Gary is a kind soul. It's something about a switch or something. Why are you sleeping here, child? I sleep whenever I can find a space not being used, your lordship, hopefully by the embers of a fire to keep out the chill a little. Poor thing, I know servants often don't have much of a life, but this sounds worse than usual. Know anything of your own family, your parents? As you can see, your lordship, I am half-caste. I am led to believe that my father was an English nobleman and my mother an African slave. Woman, I do not know anything beyond this. Well, there's nothing in the water. So I now have a magnifying glass and a nail file. Legal battles. Let's check outside again. No point going in there. No point talking to him. Already got the steel wire. Right. Maybe I can look at this closely. Alright. This. Oh, matches. Damn. I thought maybe if I struck a match I could see what was going on. Ah. Alright, well being outside clearly isn't doing me any good. Alright, that's the classroom. And he's got nothing more to say. She's got nothing more to say. Nothing in there. Can't get in there. That's locked. Ah, there's no one here. A full British Army uniform. The collar has both a star and a crown, indicating a colonel. There is also an infield rifled musket, which has seen plenty of action. Ah, there are some medals here, including the Crimea medal. Whoever this chest belonged to was a highly decorated officer. The final piece of the puzzle, a communique to the widow of Colonel Arthur Fitzpatrick, hero of the Crimean War. He died in 1857 during the Indian Rebellion. Lady Charlotte must be the widow of Arthur Denison. Her heart must have been well and truly broken. Interesting. Below the painter's signature, someone has written what seems to be a series of tiny letters in pen. So small I can't make them out with the naked eye. I can make out 8 letters. F-M-L-T-R-L-T-M. There's also a drawing of a left hand facing down. Do the letters correspond to digits? Alright, I think I've learned everything I can. I should probably leave now. F-M-L-T-R-L-T-M. 4, middle, 4, middle, litter. 4-finger, middle finger, little finger, thumb, ring, Little thumb middle. So FMLTR LTM. FMLTR LTM. Okay. FMLTR LTM. Got it. That did it. There's a book about runes in this drawer. I'm not sure why, but I'm convinced it must be important. I'm going to borrow it. There's a page containing Anglo-Saxon runes and their modern-day equivalent. Some are highlighted. I am going to take a picture of this. Okay. Now, I believe, if memory serves me correctly, outdoors, there's some runes here. The runes on the pillar are the same as the ones in the book. I shall have a closer look. Okay, so it's a 4-letter combination. Possibly a 4-letter word. So there's an E, an H, N, and M, an R, a P, an X, and an O. So, R, O, let's see. R, O, E, E. No? So maybe it's, M, O, R, E. Maybe it's hope. H, O, E, E. Or maybe it's the word home. H, O, M, E. Alright. So, I tried the word, because, here's the word. I tried the word R-O-P-E-H-O-M-E, maybe it's hone, M-O-N-E. Oh, some are highlighted. E, P, N, and O. Maybe it's N-O-P-E, nope. Or P-O-N-E. Or O... Oh, open! O-P-E-N, open. Okay, so it's O... There we go. A secret compartment is open, revealing an iron key. I'm taking the opportunity to return the book to where I found it. I don't want to carry it around unnecessarily. Alright. So, there are a couple of doors that were locked. Like this one. Okay, can't unlock that with the key. The key fits into the lock I found in the hollow when a secret door opens. The cave inside is very dark. I'll need a lamp and the means to light it. Okay. With the lamp and the means to light it, I may now enter the cave. Okay, as soon as the door opens, I am assailed by a foul stench such as I had never assaulted my nose before. However, I do recognize that smell. It is the smell of death. Holy shit! Wait, what's that moving over there? Who's there? Am I hallucinating? Coming out of a daze, I stand just inside the doorway to the secret cave. With shaking hands, I light the oil lamp. I look around me in horror. What I see is every bit as unsettling as the vision I just had, but this time is undeniably terrifyingly real. Whoa! Oh my god! I must get away. Using my lamp to peer further into the cave, I can see more dead bodies, a couple of dozens or more. Evidently, some of these bodies have been here for a long time, although scraps of flesh indicate that perhaps scavengers are more to blame than decay. The damage to some of the skulls suggests the use of a sharp weapon. I'm not about to pick up any bones, although wait, I think I can see something glinting amongst them. It's a locket. I wonder who it belonged to. There's a picture of a girl in it. I've taken it. Two men and a woman, all have evidence of whip marks and strangulation. One has large puncture marks as it's stabbed all over. Two bodies are laid out as lovers. Goodness knows what disease could be harbored here, quite apart from the impropriety of touching decaying corpses. The killer or killers have arranged some of their victims in a ring. Is it of significance? I'm not going any further into the cave. This place sends shivers down my spine. I need to ensure my family doesn't end up here. Ugh. The horror. Alright, fuck this, I'm out. Looking at the back, I can see whip marks. The poor blighter must have been punished for something or even tortured. How terrible. Alright. I need answers. Said something about secrets. This house harbors a hidden chapel which I believe contains a special Bible, a priceless heirloom of my family. You want me to try to find it? I would be most grateful. There's a lever inside the vase at the end of the second floor. If you pull it, a hidden panel will slide back, opening up a crawlway which leads into the chapel. I'm certain the Bible is in there somewhere. Presumably you've looked in the chapel. Why are you so certain the heirloom is in this chapel? My father told me, but he had died before he revealed me the secret of how to find it. I'm sure no one else knows about this chapel, so it must still be in there. You have any ideas about how to find the heirloom? I do remember hearing him recite Revelation 6:1-8 on several occasions, something about horsemen and disasters, which I couldn't understand. Maybe that had something to do with it. I say you're a lot smarter than you lead people to believe, I think. I put it down to my simple diet, vegetables and water only. Like Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in ancient Babylon. People are less guarded around simple folk, so it can pay to appear more foolish in their eyes. Okay. Is the girl in this locket Maisie? Let me look at it. Yes, it is. This is Maisie. I dread to ask where you found it. I'm afraid I found it in a cave along with many bodies. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but it is as I have long feared. May I keep the locket? When I get out of this place will you come with me and bear witness to what you know? I will, sir. Thank you so much for giving me closure about Maisie. Knowing she is dead is terrible, but suspecting without knowing was worse. Okay, so now I have a witness to some of the crimes that have gone on in this awful mansion. Alright, Isabel has nothing to say. Oh. I think that fish you gave me was off. I had the strangest vision since eating it of a ghoulish-looking face the minute I was about to enter a cave. Goodness me, no, your lordship. It was fresh, only caught yesterday afternoon. Was anything else off? No, your lordship. It was leftovers, but only from dinner, which was very late last night. Has anyone else had strange turns after eating the fish from the lake? Possibly. There's often talk of seeing things that aren't there. I've never had it, nor Franny or Gary that I know of. Oh, so maybe eating the fish out of the lake is causing the insanity. Does everyone eat the fish? Not me, your lordship. Can't stand the taste. Franny doesn't like it either, and Gary is allergic. So everyone who has eaten the fish has had hallucinations. Couldn't say for absolute certain, but it does seem that way, your lordship. Okay, so now we have another connection. It's the fish. Fish, fish, fish. I wonder if Giles is awake now. I can't hear that awful snoring anymore. As Gary said, there's a lever almost at the bottom of his face on the inside. When I pull it, a secret hatch opens in the eastern wall. This is curious. It looks to me like this was once a priest hole, but it's been expanded quite a bit. Catholics were persecuted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, so great homes and mansions owned by Catholics often had these hiding places for when their places were searched. I don't recall ever seeing one converted like this. The room itself is a conflict of styles, too, with Spartan furnishings more akin to Puritan ideals, but the statue and stained glass window are extravagant given the location. There's a thick layer of dust on everything. I doubt it's been used for many years, maybe even over a century. An image of an angel. The window has some sort of faint backlighting. It is not made to be visible from the outside. The mortar has crumbled in a couple of places. This place clearly hasn't been very cared for over the years. I wonder how many people know of its existence. The inscription says that this is Jesus in the form of Michael the Archangel. Well, that's weird. This is a King James Bible, not very old in plain sight. This can't be what Gary was looking for. Let's see, Gary's verses were Revelation 6, 1 through 8. Revelation 6, 2, and I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him who went forth conquering and to conquer. There went out another horse that was red. Power was given him that sat thereon to make peace in the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Open the third seal. A black horse had a pair of balances, and a pale horse, and the name that sat on him was Death, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, with hunger, with death, with the beasts of the earth. Okay. So, white horse, give it a crown. Red horse with a sword. Black horse with the scales. Pale horse. Death. The safe opens and inside is something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. Complete Gutenberg Bible. These are immensely rare and must be worth a fortune. It has to be the heirloom Gary was talking about. I will take it to him. Is it that time already? I say, please don't tell his lordship that I was half rats again. Don't worry, my good man, your secret is safe with me. I'm much obliged to you. Think nothing of it. Apparently this is a painting of the famous Russian author Dmitri Suvorshkin. His most celebrated work is Felony and Retribution. A large painted cabinet. Create subtle movements in the trees. Luxurious double bed. Alright, so he's got nothing to say. I can't believe it, you actually did it. Thank you so much. This will set me up for life if I can find a buyer. As a token of thanks, please take this key. That could help. This key just gave me what's it for. It's the key to the third bedroom next to Charlotte's room. I like to keep clear of the grand lords and ladies of this house. Whatever they may say, they don't like me at all. What could I want with this key? There's a secret room underneath it. I've been in it once when I was a young child. Can't even remember who took me there, but I'll never forget what was in it. So what was in it? Amazing treasures from the Caribbean. Pirate treasures, I think. An oyster with a real pearl, bones made into a necklace, and most amazingly, a skull made of crystal. How do I get into this secret room, then? Alas, that I can't tell you. I never knew the secret. There may be someone in the mansion who knows, or perhaps you'll have to work it out for yourself. Great treasures awaited for you. I've no need of any treasures, but this key should come in handy. I must search every room in this mansion. I'd better go now. Okay. So... he doesn't fit. Alright, so these doors are not locked. I hear a commotion nearby. Standing outside the third bedroom is Edith, gesticulating frantically with Charles, Charlotte, and Alfred, trying in vain to calm her down. Come downstairs, Mother. I will play some music to calm you down. Oh, so that's the daughter of Lady... what's her name? No, I won't go anywhere. Leave me alone. Unhand me. It's no good. We can't move her in this state. I need to get into that bedroom. Maybe I can find something that will calm Edith down. They will move on. Charlotte's words indicate the music will soothe her. Alright. I need to find some sheet music. Doesn't know where it is. Where could I find some sheet music? That's Francesca. Shit. That key doesn't fit. Ah, maybe I can use this key. No? Fuck. Oh, now it fits. You were once married to a Colonel Arthur Fitzpatrick? Ah, the life of an army wife. Married young to a dashing young officer, widowed young to a hero of the realm I barely knew because he was always away fighting for his country. How long ago was that? Oh, I don't know. The years flow by like a unbridled river. My memory fails me at times. It was long ago anyway. As I step in the room, Lady Edith addresses me. Not just anybody can converse with me. To unlock my speech, the French maid knows the key. Now please take leave. The French maid? What are you doing here, fellow? Away with you. Lurking outside locked doors, your behavior is most suspicious. Pardon me, sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. What is the matter with you? Are you deaf? Turn back. Well, what the hell? Well, I unlocked the damn door, but now I can't get through it. Fuck. Hello, Francesca. Lady Edith will not speak to me and said something about the maid knowing how to unlock her speech. I assume she meant you. Please, sir, keep away from that woman. Nothing good can come from a conversation with her. Can you not tell me what the key is? For your own sake, no, I shall not. I will have to ask you again for Lady Edith's key. After the good you've done to me, I will, against my better judgment, some kind of strange defense mechanism she has. Unless someone says the correct rhyme, she simply won't speak to them at all. What is the rhyme I need to say to Lady Edith? Although I have come to you as a stranger, I wish to confirm that I pose no danger. Okay. Well, now I can't even get to her. Alright, so he's got nothing to say. Well, let's go back outside, see if anything has changed. Can't talk to her. Can't talk to her. Talk to him. According to Molly, people who eat fish from the lake may see things. I really need to see what's down there. Time to dive in. This is a document wallet of some kind, possibly waterproof. I think it's been overlaid with a gutta percha. It's lodged under a rock. Alright. Number of barrels have crashed down at the lake's surface. A shimmering glow emerges from the crack. It looks as if a substance from the barrel is interacting with the water, creating a bright luminescence. I'd rather keep my distance. It looks dangerous. This is something for the authorities to deal with. So it's some type of... It's some type of chemical. The barrels are too heavy to move, and I'm reluctant to touch the one that's glowing. Who knows what direct contact would do to me. There are documents in the wallet. They speak of an experimental chemical said to induce various psychotropic and hallucinogenic results in the vast number of test subjects. Those tested were all convicts and were disposed of afterwards? Oh boy. The document suggests that the plan was to expose the water sources of the primary cities of the American rebels with this substance, with the aim of letting them destroy themselves before reclaiming it for Great Britain. Oh man. Somehow this shipment got sidetracked here, probably on the way to Liverpool docks. Clearly, whoever was behind this planned on creating havoc and panic across the whole country. I'll report this to the authorities when I get home. Oh, boy. Damn. Much as I want to find out what's in there, it's pitch black inside. Oh, that's right, I can't go back in because I have no matches. Oh, jeez, I do. Okay, so we don't need to go back in the cave. Can't get in the shed. And this guy's still turning me away. I have found evidence that the water in the lake contained a dangerous substance. Fascinating, but we do not drink water from the lake. But you do eat the fish that have ingested the contaminant? True, but in my case, the whiskey protects my gastric organs. There's a contaminant in the lake affecting people's minds. Really? How terrible. Oh, what is it? A moment of terrible clarity has come upon me. I must show you something. Come with me. I feel I must tell you this while my mind is clear. My sorrow so often overwhelms me. If what you say about the water in the lake is true, my mind is muddled by that as well. I've always felt the children's disappearance may have been caused by Charles. I hid this bottle here in the children's bedroom where no one would ever find it. Here, take it. A bottle of arsenic? How dreadful, but how can you be sure who used it? Charles was a strict man, but not cruel, so I am told. I did not work for them at the time, but after moving here, he changed and got very angry very quickly. The water being contaminated would perhaps explain this. He got so angry at little Jonathan and Arthur that they became scared of him. Then I found this bottle. Please try to stay calm, Penelope. Try to stay in control. You're right, sir. I must remain strong or I'll lose my mind. What would you have me do with this bottle? I thought perhaps it could be used as evidence. I don't really know. I'll see what I can do. A knitted doll. My Sophie has one. Loves it to bits. Won't go anywhere without it. This one looks like it's barely been touched. Silhouettes of tree branches. William would love this as a toy. Black Panthers are his favorite animals. Very elegant chest of drawers made with oak. Very solid. Perhaps not completely childproof, but then nothing is. Painting of the popular music hall entertainer Trepidanos. Singer, juggler, and comedian all rolled into one, pictured here in a typically flamboyant outfit. This brings back memories. My brother and I had a bunk bed when we were little. So that was the locked door. Now that the room is vacant, I'm free to explore. There's some sheet music on the other side of the mirror. Okay. So now we have the sheet music. Sir, do you recognize this? What is this nonsense? A bottle of arsenic. Do you recognize it? No, I mean, why should I? Still, it's not the sort of thing you should be carrying around. Far too dangerous. Let me take it from you and dispose of it. Charles returns to his bedroom having taken the bottle of poison. Oh boy. Okay, so let me go here, and I am going to save the game. Because I have to exit for now. And I have to work later, so I need to get some lunch, I need to take a nap. and then have an early dinner, and I have to work some overtime tonight. So unfortunately, I can't stream any longer than that. But at least wanted to get part one of this game out of the way. The corruption within. So hopefully tomorrow we can go to part two of this. And yeah, there you go. So what we'll do is tomorrow we'll go to part two of the corruption within, and I will see you guys then. Have a great day, everybody.